Okay, let's go back in time. Picture yourself on the playground, but you're not talking about TV shows or trading lunchbox snacks. No, you're locked in a heated debate about something more important. I am of course referring to Nintendo versus Sega. Welcome to the Bit Wars. It was a time in the 90s where the number of bits in your console meant everything. Plus you were either Team Mario or you were Team Sonic. But either way, join me today for a trip down memory lane. For many gamers of the early 90s, there was that point where they would stand on the front lines of the 16-bit war. This was an era where choosing a gaming console wasn't just a matter of personal preference, it was like joining a tribe. And once you picked your side, you stayed loyal to it. Now forget about cross-platforming gaming, this was a battlefield, and your system of choice was your banner. At the heart of this war, there were two massive juggernauts, the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis, as well as the Super Nintendo.
Neat.
Now, Sega made the first strike in the 16-bit race, releasing the Mega Drive in 1989. For a whole 2 years, Sega had a 16 market to itself. Sega didn't just want to compete with Nintendo, they wanted to destroy them. And at the heart of Sega's arsenal was none other than Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic was the complete opposite to Mario. Where Mario was slow and steady, Sonic was fast and stylish. But Sonic wasn't the only ace up Sega's sleeve. But then you can't forget about Sega's blast processing slogan. It was plastered everywhere, giving players the impression that the Mega Drive was capable of delivering faster, smoother gameplay than Nintendo's hardware could handle. Games like Streets of Rage gave players an arcade-style beat-em up experience but at home, with gritty urban environments and a killer soundtrack. Meanwhile, Nintendo wasn't about to let Sega steal their thunder. In 1991, they fired back with the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, and suddenly the Bit Wars had officially begun. Right out of the gate, the Super Nintendo showed off its technical prowess with titles like Super Mario World. The graphics were stunning for the time, the level design was incredible yet intricate, and the sheer size of the game made it feel like you were embarking on an epic adventure. But the Super Nintendo wasn't all about bright colours and whimsical charm. It had its own list of hardcore games. Super Metroid brought moody, atmospheric sci-fi action. But then there was Donkey Kong Country, which stunned players with its revolutionary pre-rendered 3D graphics. It wasn't just about the games though. The marketing war was half the fun. Sega went full throttle with their aggressive campaign, especially over in the States, where the Mega Drive was called the Genesis. Meanwhile, Nintendo fired back with commercials that showcased the depth and creativity of their gaming library. As a gamer, you had to take a side, there was no middle ground. Looking back, the Bit Wars weren't just about who had the better hardware or bigger library of games. It was a cultural moment. But beyond the competition, the real winners were the players. Whether you were Team Sega or Team Nintendo, you got to experience the golden age of 16-bit gaming. A time where the possibilities of what video games could be were expanding every single day. And in the end, the Bit Wars weren't just about bits or marketing slogans, they were about the joy of being part of a gaming revolution. The Bit Wars may be over, but the debate still rages on, especially for those who were there back in the 90s. Anyway, come back next time when the cartoon guy returns and takes a look at a classic of the early 90s. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.